The wicked king of Zazzau. In the heart of the ancient city of Zazzau, a kingdom nestled in the northern plains of Hausaland, there ruled a king so feared that his name was whispered only in hushed tones, King Hamza, the wicked. His palace, an imposing fortress of red earth, loomed over the city like a shadow of despair. The people of Zazzau lived in constant fear, for King Hamza's wrath was as unpredictable as the Harmattan wind that swept through the region. Hamza had not always been wicked. In his youth, he was a charming prince, known for his intellect and bravery. But power, like a potent potion, had corrupted him. After ascending the throne, he became obsessed with wealth and control. His first decree was to double the taxes, forcing even the poorest farmers to surrender the fruits of their labor. Those who couldn't pay were imprisoned or sold into slavery. The market of Zazzau, once bustling with merchants and traders, became ghostly quiet. The once fertile farmlands lay barren, for the farmers had no incentive to toil under the yoke of endless demands. The kingdom was rich in gold and salt, but its people grew poorer with each passing day. In a small village on the outskirts of Zazzau, there lived an old seer named Zara. She was known for her visions, which often came to pass. One fateful evening, under the light of a full moon, she summoned the villagers to the baobab tree at the center of the village. "I see darkness lifting from Zazzau," she declared, her voice trembling. "A child of the north, with courage in their heart, will rise to end the reign of the wicked king." The villagers murmured amongst themselves. Who could this child be? Could they truly stand against the mighty King Hamza? Far away from the palace, in a small hut near the banks of the Kaduna River, a young hunter named Umar lived with his mother. Umar was no ordinary boy. Born during a thunderstorm, he had been blessed, or cursed, some said, with a streak of white in his jet black hair. His mother often told him he was destined for greatness, though he found it hard to believe as he spent his days hunting guinea fowl and gathering firewood. One day, while setting traps in the forest, Umar stumbled upon a group of royal guards harassing a group of travelers. Unable to stand by, he confronted them. His agility and skill with a bow were unmatched, and he quickly subdued the guards, freeing the travelers. Unbeknownst to Umar, one of the travelers was Zara herself. "You are the one from my vision," Zara told him, her eyes piercing into his soul. "You will end the reign of King Hamza." Umar laughed nervously. "Me? A simple hunter. How could I possibly defeat the king?" But Zara was adamant. "Courage and justice will guide you. And when the time comes, you will not stand alone." Word of Umar's bravery spread quickly. Disillusioned farmers, merchants, and soldiers began seeking him out, pledging their loyalty to his cause. Umar, though reluctant at first, realized that the people of Zazzau were ready to rise against their tyrant. In secret, they began to prepare. Blacksmiths forged weapons in hidden workshops, and spies infiltrated the palace to gather information. Umar's small band of rebels grew into a formidable force. Meanwhile, King Hamza grew paranoid. Reports of unrest reached his ears, and he responded with an iron fist. Villages were burned, and suspected rebels were executed without trial. But the more he tried to crush the rebellion, the stronger it grew. One night, as Hamza sat in his grand hall, surrounded by his advisors, he had a dream. In it, a young man with a streak of white in his hair stood before him, wielding a glowing spear. The dream shook him to his core, and he demanded that every man with white hair in the kingdom be captured. On the eve of the rebellion, Umar and his followers gathered under the cover of darkness. They had chosen the night of the king's annual festival, when the palace guards would be drunk and distracted. As the moon hung low in the sky, the rebels launched their attack. Umar, leading the charge, moved like a shadow through the palace corridors. The air was thick with the clash of swords and the cries of battle. In the grand hall, King Hamza awaited, clad in gold armor and wielding a scimitar. When Umar entered, the king's eyes widened in recognition. "You," he snarled. "The boy from my dream." The duel that followed was fierce. Hamza was a skilled fighter, but years of indulgence had dulled his edge. Umar's movements were swift and precise, each strike fueled by the anger and hope of an oppressed people. Finally, with a powerful thrust, Umar's spear found its mark, piercing the king's chest. As King Hamza's lifeless body fell to the ground, a silence descended over the palace. The rebels, victorious, cheered as Umar emerged from the hall. The people of Zazzau, upon hearing the news, poured into the streets to celebrate. Umar, though reluctant, was crowned as the new king. His first decree was to abolish the oppressive taxes and free those who had been imprisoned unjustly. He restored the farmlands and reopened the markets, breathing life back into the kingdom. Under King Umar's reign, Zazzau flourished once more. The story of the wicked king and the brave hunter became a legend, passed down through generations as a reminder that tyranny could never withstand the power of a united people. And so, the northern winds carried a new song, one of hope and freedom, across the plains of Hausaland.